Being attached to outcomes is an absolute waste of energy and time. Today's February 1st, Sunday. It's about 7:17 a.m. and I'm here doing my morning routine, which I practice gratitude, I say some affirmations, I meditate, and then I do some journaling. And I haven't done a long form YouTube video in over 2.5 years. And as I'm working on my morning routine, ideas, thoughts, messages are coming in, insights, and I recognize that being attached to your outcome is only causing you fear and worry and will keep you stagnant. It doesn't allow it to move forward. So one of the reasons why I stopped recording my long form videos back in 2023 was because someone who was close to me that I cared about criticized my intention and my ability to create content. And I let me be mindful of how I framed that. I wasn't upset with the person for saying that because I don't blame me stopping because of what that person said. The actual reason why I stopped is because what they said only confirmed or reinforced a belief that I already held, right? So I was already insecure or not as fully confident in my ability to create a YouTube channel and to put out the content that I was putting and to share, that I allowed someone else's commentary to almost stop me in my tracks. So that's not about them. That's about me. And what I'm realizing is the reason why I think I had those fears initially, or those insecurities, was being attached to the outcome. How will I be perceived? Will I come across as a fraud or being inauthentic, or like, what does she know? What does she know that gives her credibility to be putting out this type of content about practicing gratitude and the law of attraction and your mindset creates your life, yada, yada. And so I allowed my deep-seated core beliefs to be attached to an outcome. And when that was criticized and it further cemented my belief, I went stagnant. And then after that, other things were happening where creating content just wasn't a priority anymore. But now as I'm sitting here and I'm reflecting, and like I said, I start off with my gratitude journal that I do. I'm in month 2 of doing this daily. And then for Christmas, I also got this beautiful, beautiful book from my niece, 100 Days of Believing Bigger, a devotional journey. And I'm telling you, every day when I do this journal, and there are other things that I do as part of my self-care practice and self-love development, that it always aligns. And so I want to read today, because I think I'm going to go back to making long-form content. We'll see what happens with this video. But these break steps into different chapters, and the first was like trust. Then it went there was a few days of trust, then purpose, and now I'm on identity. Today's day 21. I already did the entry. But it said, embracing you. Let's just go ahead and be what we are made to be, without enviously or pridefully comparing ourselves with each other or trying to be something we aren't. Romans 12, the Message. And then the author writes, and the author is Marshawn Evans Daniels. In a world filled with protocol, a never-ending list of do's and don'ts, and the pressure to be perfect, it can seem impossible to discover who you really are and what you're here to be and do. I've always loved how the scripture above gives us a direct glimpse into God's plan, God's game plan. Be what you were made to be. This is at the heart of divine reinvention, coming into alignment with our true assignment. The way God uniquely made you is a clue as to what he wants you to do. Nothing about you is a mistake. This verse is also a reminder of the permission you've already received to be uniquely you as a daughter of the Most High. Plus, God won't bless who you pretend to be. So let's stop conforming, shrinking, dimming your light, and running from who and what you are always meant to be, say, create, and do. We're waiting on you, the real you. And that's the version of you heaven needs to. Lines with that deeper knowing that I've always had of like there's something missing there. I meant for more. And realizing that I tend to shrink sometimes, even though I wouldn't say that, especially, 2 years ago. But now I'm recognizing there were so many ways in which I was shrinking. So in this journal, it then gives you a prompt, right? So the prompt is, how have you been chipping away at who you are by trying to be what everyone else needs? What is God now showing you about yourself that needs to come out of hiding? I've played small, minimized my wins, all in an effort to avoid rejection. And rejection came anyway. I abandoned my authentic self to conform or to be accepted. And I was distanced anyway. Maybe that's so I could gain conscious awareness of the role I was playing. It gave me opportunities to notice, allow, and create neutral narratives rather than negative and false narratives that only led to fear, depression, and anxiety. God has taken me out of my familiar environment so that I could see that I can survive, be happy, thrive, and fall more and more in love with myself every day. I'm so proud of who I'm becoming, and I'm excited to see where I'll be a year from now. I've released the fear of success. I realized it was an illusion that held me back from remembering who God created me to be. So there's all different types of fears, and I realized through a lot of introspection, through reading, through conscious awareness and dialogue, and just a myriad of things, that I had a fear of success for a very, very long time. And it sounds crazy, but how it would show up for me is I would play down my win. So if I got a promotion, I would share my promotion, but then I would be mindful of not talking about it too much or not being excited about it too much so that I didn't make other people feel uncomfortable. And if I maybe made them feel uncomfortable, then maybe they wouldn't want me, or maybe they would think, oh, who does she think she is? And I recognize that that's a me issue. It's not a them issue. It was something that I was projecting onto them. And because I was having this belief, it would then be reinforced. Because that's how our mind works. Whatever we think will become true. So if I have a fear of success and I believe certain things about being successful, and that being success means being isolated, being successful means being rejected, being successive means that people will think that you're better than them and therefore will mistreat you, then that's what will happen and that's what you'll experience. And so I realized that's a false narrative. It's not true. And it's a way of continuing to play small. By me fearing, success, then it meant that I didn't have to try or do or create or be more. And so releasing that fear, releasing my attachment to outcomes, because what is success anyway? We can define success in so many different ways. It's not just financial success, but it could be I'm so successful in how I feel about myself today. That's incredibly successful to me. My identity is shifting and it's continuing to shift, and I feel it physically. I also feel it in my body, but that's another story for another day. Somebody pointed out, like, I'm developing like a heart shape here. Like, this has just grown exponentially in the last few weeks. So I know I'm changing from the inside out. I might do this every morning. I do it every morning anyway, but I might record it. We'll see. And see what happens. Like, we're on day 21 today. I wonder where I'll be when we reaches day 100 and what other insights I would have gained or will have gained. And I hope some of you come along for the journey. I would love that if others came along for the journey with me and share with me your thoughts, insights. Do you have any morning routines, rituals, self-care activities that you do to start your day and set your intentions for the day? So I pull cards. Ooh. I pull manifestation cards. I usually do this on weekdays with my daughter. Today's Sunday. She's at a grandparent's house, so she spent the weekend there, so it's just me, but I still do it anyway. So we'd usually do this when we're about to leave the house for the day, before I go to work, before she goes to school, and we have a quick conversation about what it means. She's 8, and I don't think you can ever start teaching kids gratitude and about thinking positively. You can never start too early. And I see the changes in her as well. But I'll just pull top of the deck, my intention for today. Your heart is the seat of your power. Here's a way to instantly stop a downward negative spiral. Focus on your heart. Breathe in deeply, keeping your focus on your heart, and concentrate on feeling love in your heart. Breathe out while keeping your focus and feeling the love in your heart. Breathe out while keeping your focus and feeling the love in your heart. Repeat this a total of 7 times. You will feel more peaceful, you will feel lighter, and the negative thoughts and feelings will have stopped. These are the Secret Rhonda Byrne, I think that's how you say her last name, manifestation cards. Got them on Amazon. So I like to pull them every day. I also have like a little, tell her it's a magic wand and she holds on to it, and I tell her to say 3 things she's grateful for in the morning, or 3 wishes that she has. So little practices like that I have that just make me feel good, make me feel closer to God, make me remember who I was born and created to be. Like I said, I would love to hear from you and what your morning routine is, or how you set your intentions for the day. Okay,